podium. Because Audrey is, when she debuts as a national, I'm considered a second line to Audrey. So it's like family. How cool is that? I get to stand on the stage with y'all. So I have a question for you. If leadership is in your heart, stand up. If leadership is something that God has placed inside your DNA, wow, that's a lot. Okay. So then I believe with all my heart that when God puts leadership, he plants that seed inside of you. There's a purpose for that, right? And you can, there's so much for this Mary Kay where that can become a reality. I was at school, you can sit down, sorry. Or you can just stand up because you're leaders. You can just stand up. But I was a school teacher. When I was young, I would line up my little stuffed animals and I would teach them. Literally, when I was in second grade, and they didn't talk back to me, right? And so I thought I'll be a teacher my whole life. And when I was in high school, I surrendered to missions. So I didn't know how that would all correlate, but I knew God had a plan. And I had no idea that it would come in the vehicle of Mary Kay or a pink Escalade. And I always say, God put me in a mission field with high heels, and never dreamed that. I just never would have seen it for myself. But what I love is that I told corporate, Mike Strong, probably a week ago, I was on the phone with him and I said, Mike, I can't think of any other opportunity that would have provided for me the opportunity to be able to build pink homes in Nicaragua. And I want them to hear that from me, because we are impacting globally through this position of national. And you guys, whatever your heartbeat is, it could be, whatever it is. For us, we have this strong heartbeat for missions and for, Nicaragua specifically. And so God has joined so beautifully this call to national with our call to Nicaragua. My husband's a church planter. We are busy. I had just sent my oldest to college. What in the world? I don't even know how that happened. When I came into Mary Kay, he was 2, and my little girl Jordan was 9 months, and then we had 2 more. And so now they range from 18, 16, 14, and my 12-year-old just turned 13. So I'm like, I've got all these teens. But I love that this pink bubble has provided them a culture of confidence, of building one another up. Funny true story, 2 nights ago, I said to my son, he came up the stairs, and we don't see him much because he's so busy with college and all that. But he was home that evening, and he came up the stairs, and I said, Tabor, I'm so proud of you. And he said, Mom, stop saying that. I know you're proud of me. And it was so funny. Like, I just busted out laughing. And I said, Tabor, but I am. He's like, I know you are. And he kind of smiled, and my husband and I kind of smiled. But, it's the culture that we are in. I am proud of him. And I want to tell him, and probably tell him too much. And he's an 18-year-old boy. So he's like, Mom, please, don't say it so much. But, personally, I know that Mary Kay has really instilled in me this encouraging spirit, that God's used it to grow me as a leader, to grow my confidence. Because if you would have put me in this scenario, even with this amount of people, back when I first started Mary Kay, I would have shaken, my eyes would have teared up, my mouth would have quivered, and I would be shaking. Today, doesn't faze me. I still get butterflies at seminar if I'm going to give a speech, or last year at leadership, they did ask me to do a speech from the stage, and I'm like, me? And I'm, it's nerve-wracking. You're getting up in front of, thousands of women. And, but through Mary Kay, God has grown me. And so wherever you're at in this journey, and I don't know where you're at. You might be like, I don't know why I'm here. I'm not sure who I'm listening to. I don't even know what a national is. A national is what Audrey is working towards. And if you look back there on that board, what happens when you become a national is that you have cumulative 20 area sales directors. 20. And it sounds so easy, right? 20 area sales directors. But it's not. It is a lot of hard work. It's a lot of people coming together and rallying together, and a whole lot of God. And so for all 20 to get into position, it really is, and it can happen quickly. It can. And I told Audrey, I said, I want to talk to your people about wrapping up, your national area. And so you guys, when you look at that, when you look at the One Step Up future area, you can find out, where do you feel like your face would be on that, or have you even thought about it? And you might be an adoptee and you're like, but hey, adoptees are a part of our family. I tell people all the time, adoptees are like part of our Mary Kay family. I had a director on my call Monday, and she's not in my area, but she's adopted into my area. And she just became an executive senior sales director. And I said, Tania, I want you to share, because you are like our family. And she shared. And that's what Mary Kay culture is. We're all about, like, truly, like adopting a child. You're adopting, another person into your family. So there's no territories. You can move anywhere. You can sell anywhere. You can, your husband may relocate. You might have life change, and you might uproot. You just said you moved from Hawaii. That's a huge change. But you can build in Hawaii. I mean, oh my goodness. Think about that. Think about recruiting in Hawaii. And that is so exciting, because really there's no territories in this company. And when I had relocated to Roanoke in 2003 and started Mary Kay, I didn't know a lot of people. We had been in North Carolina for about 6 years, so that's where a lot of my connections and a lot of life had happened in North Carolina. And you know that some of my first team members came out of North Carolina. So I was living in Virginia, but a lot of my team members were coming out of North Carolina. So again, if you've lived somewhere else, you have family somewhere else, you've got connections, there's no territories. And they can plug into a local director, if there's one in their circle, in their town, and they can be adopted and taken care of. So how cool is that? Like, how cool is that? That is a part of our Mary Kay culture. And so I'm going to just share with you a few things. I wasn't 100% sure what I was going to share with you, but one thing that I know that people kind of know me for, and I kind of laugh about it, is moving up fast. And so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about moving up fast. Moving, in your career fast, if that's what you want to do. If you're a guest, just kind of hang with us. Maybe you can apply this to something in your life. And then how to balance your schedule. So those are the two things I'm going to just touch on, and then I probably have a time limit, so you can tell me, like, Lene, you have 5 minutes left. But how to balance your schedule. Something that I love is that you and I, no matter where you're at in the season of your life, no matter what your age, we all have the same amount of time. We all have the same amount of hours in a day. We have how many hours in a day? 24. And we have 168 hours a week. So you and I, we might be different in all other areas, but in that, we are the same. We all have 168 hours. I was sitting down with a young girl today. She's a model in college at Hollins in Roanoke, and it was so cute to hear her, because she's a beautiful girl, but just to hear her say, I'm so busy, I just don't know where I'd fit it, and I'm just smiling inside thinking, wow, the way we perceive things, that we are so busy. Everybody's busy, right? The world is busy. We are spending. And I don't know about you, but Mary Kay is my place where I actually get to get out and have my girlfriend time. It's actually where I get to, and so many of you are shaking your heads, you get it. Like, I get to love on women. I get to sell products. I get to share the opportunity. It is fun. It's fun for me. And it's a way that I build a bridge into women's lives. So in order to save time, you must first know how you lose your time. All right, so if you were to get out, Mary Kay has a weekly plan sheet. If you were to grab that and put it out in front of you, it basically has Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday with the time blocks. And if you were to look at that, you've got to know, where am I losing time so I can gain some time, right? So where are you losing time? The other thing is, the best time to manage your time is right now. So if you are struggling with this concept of time management, where do I put my Mary Kay? Or, I know you're not in Mary Kay yet, there's some guests down here, but for anything in life, like, where do I put this? People will say, well, where do I put my quiet time? Where do I put exercise? Where do I put, and that is a good question. You have to take control of your time. And if you're like me, you're busy, right? How many of you would say, I'm busy? I am busy. What about our guests? I'm busy, okay? What about if I was to say, if you could carve out 1 to 2 hours a week to make an extra $100, how many of you would do it? Okay, all the guests have their hands raised. What I love about Mary Kay is you can do that. You can go out and in a couple hours with a few girlfriends around the table, sell 200 or more and pocket 100. That's pretty cool. That is really awesome about our company. Okay, the next thing is I may do anything, but everything is not useful or constructive. So we're going to talk about eliminating waste of time, like time wasters. So list, if you have a piece of paper, what are some time wasters you have in your life right now? List it out. Like it could be anything. What are you wasting time on? Because as you eliminate time wasters, you're going to gain time to do what is going to actually be profitable and useful for you. And for me, I had to do this often in my life. My husband would say, Lene, you can't be great at everything. You might be halfway good at some, like a lot of things, but you can't be great at everything. You've got to figure out what you want to really focus on. And for me, being a wife, being a mama of 4 little ones, that was a lot, right? And so I couldn't do a lot more. But I knew that Mary Kay, this opportunity, was providing me a lot of different options in my life and a lot of different choices. So I chose to put time there. Prioritize what's important to you. So what's important to you? If you were to, write down, 3 things that are important to you or 5 things, what's important to you? Write it down. And a lot of people will put, family. You might put friends or fun. It depends on who you are. Your faith, of course, goodness, that's the top of the list in Mary Kay. We always talk about faith first, God first, family second, career third. And you prioritize what's important. And then just at the end, just saying, Rick Warren said, you have just enough time to do God's will. You have just enough time to do God's will. Something my husband always would say, and he was re-quoting a favorite mentor of his, is if you give the Redeemer your time, he will redeem your time. And I love that because I'm like, man, that just frees me up. If I will just surrender my time to God, he's going to redeem my time. And so the other thing that he said that is so good is God would not give you a purpose in life and then not give you the time to do it. God would not give you a purpose in life and then not give you the time to do it. How cool is that? So if there's something in your heart that you are just like, this whole, and I'm gonna apply this to Mary Kay. Okay, this whole little time is going to be applied to Mary Kay. If this is applied to Mary Kay, what are you prioritizing? What are you prioritizing with your time, with your Mary Kay? So I'm going to talk more to this side. So what do you prioritize with your Mary Kay? If time is valuable, like what do you prioritize with your Mary Kay business? Simple. You don't have to overanalyze it.
Customer service.
Okay.
Orders.
Awesome.
Booking and faces.
Yeah, and you're both right. Faces. We're a people business. So P&L, what's it stand for?
People and love.
People and love. Mary Kay said it stands for people and love. And so when you are prioritizing people, you will always be successful. When you are prioritizing that person and their needs, and you're putting that first, you will always be successful. Because then it's not about who?
Yourself.
You get out of your own way. It's just like you said, I love that charcoal mask. How cool is that? She introduced you to it. But it's what you love and what you need. And it's not what I think you need, right? I can educate you. But then ultimately, you have to make that choice of what you want for skincare, the repair set, the tone correcting serum. I mean, you could sell gobs of that just because of that one testimony. I'm telling you right now, you're really good. And then how many of you are interested in moving up fast? Because I'm going to do the second little part on this. All right. So moving up fast. I did some training on this, and I don't even remember where. It might have been at a fall retreat. But I kept it because it's so much about people. When people say, Lene, how did you move up fast? How did you become a director in 4 months? How did you earn a car so fast? How'd you get in your Cadillac? I'm like, and I had to really stop and think about it. And this is all about people. So, number 1, believe in people and the opportunity that Mary Kay has for them. And so the first thing I would say is a belief factor. Do you believe in this opportunity? Do you believe in it? You've probably heard Audrey say, ignorance on fire. I remember as a new consultant, I was like ignorance on fire. I didn't even know what I was doing. I'm like, I don't know. But I was having fun. I was selling and making money, and I even had some people join my team, like, wow, random. She just joined my team. And so it was ignorance on fire. I was having so much fun, but it was all about people. And so my belief in the opportunity was big at the time. Now, when we have cancellations or we have team members sit down and do nothing, our belief might what? Fall a little bit, right? We have people that don't hold to their commitments. What happens? Our belief might sink. But here's what I want you to know, that if you can keep that belief high, that the opportunity in this company works. We've been around for 56 years. September 13th, Friday the 13th is our 56th year anniversary. So when we know and believe that this opportunity works, it doesn't matter if people cancel, right? I mean, it does, it hurts a little bit, but it's just part of it. People don't show up, they flake out on us. Absolutely they will. But you want to make sure that you're keeping your belief high. So you're gonna be 100% motivated when your belief is here. Your motivation's gonna be where? Way down here when your belief is low. And sometimes it's belief in ourselves, sometimes it's belief in other people. Think about that. And a lot of that has to do with our past hurts, past heartaches. We gotta get past that. We gotta get past the past because we want our belief to be high. And Henry Blackaby said, one way you know your vision is right is if it is impossible. Think about that for a second. One way you know your vision is right is if it is impossible. And to me, like when I came into Mary Kay, earning a pink Cadillac was impossible. In my mind, I was like, oh yeah, that is for some other person, not me. And in my mind, it was impossible. But getting out there and taking those steps of belief. So what is your throw up goal? If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you write down with Mary Kay? If you knew you couldn't fail, like the sky's the limit, what would you write down? I want to hear it.
Okay, if I couldn't fail,
Yeah.
what would I want?
Yes.
Oh, I want that pink Cadillac.
You want a pink
With a pink
Cadillac?
Escalade.
A pink Escalade. She wants to be an NSD. She wants to be an NSD. I love it. What would you say if you knew you couldn't fail?
Oh yeah, pink Cadillac in Hawaii and Nicaragua.
Hawaii,
And,
oh
yeah,
my goodness. Yes.
Trip.
finally a not work trip.
Yes.
for yeah.
That's right, for fun. For fun. I love it. Ashley,
Nsd
NSD, the sky's the limit. I love it.
Sales Director.
Sales director, yay! Love it.
Nsd.
NSD?
Wherever God leads me, but whatever avenue that may be. But for me, it would be having a land and having my Mary Kay office and studio on the second floor of my barn,
Aw, I love
and it has
that.
some horses. So, however God uses me to get to that point. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love you took us into your visual. Like, I'm like, I can see it. Yeah, like, a level and a barn looking out over horses.
Mhm.
It starts with that. I remember getting a pillowcase and making my first pillowcase. We talk about writing out your dreams, drawing your dreams and sleeping on them. And I remember just thinking, this is crazy. Like in the middle, getting a pink Escalade symbol. But it's true, like your mind, it's amazing. Mary Kay would say, you can achieve what you believe. And like as you begin to really go after and see things, like your vision's gonna grow. It's like a rubber band, it expands. And what you thought was impossible becomes possible. By the way, here's the bee bracelet if you guys are working on earning that.
I noticed that.
Yeah, it's so pretty. I love it. And so Johnny Hunt said, if you're thinking wrong, you're doing wrong. So if your thinking is wrong, you're doing wrong. And in Proverbs 23:7, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As a woman thinketh in her heart, so is she. So a lot of it is, so many times we talk about our mindset, but Mary Kay trained on it because she knew how powerful it really is. The way our attitude, we hear our attitude, it really determines our altitude. And isn't that true? So it really is. So I'm going to ask you what motivates you. Write it down. I'm going to give you 4 different things. What motivates you? Is it encouraging and helping others? That's the first one. Is it integrity and a belief in a strong company like Mary Kay? Like, what really motivates you about our company? Is it a voice that must speak out? You've got that roaring lion inside. You want to speak out. Or is it determination and the decision to make daily choices to be the best you that you can be? What would it be out of those four? Do you know? Does anybody know?
All of them.
All of them? Is that just it? All of them? Yeah.
The top.
Integrity.
Yeah.
The fact that our company is built upon integrity, I love that too. Determination, yeah. I love that. All right, so we're almost done. Use your God-given talents to motivate and inspire others. Do you believe God can use you? Do you believe it? Do you believe that God can use you? Do you believe that God can use you in the vehicle of Mary Kay? And that's huge. Like, do you really believe it? Because when our belief is shaken, it affects what we do. And I will say this, what will rob you of God's talents working through you is things like pride, jealousy, stubbornness, laziness, lack of vision, lack of love for others, fear, and selfishness. And you fill in the blank. What holds you back from getting up and really going after these dreams? What could, like, really going after seeing 30 faces? It's our 56th anniversary, so we're all about seeing 56 faces. And we're like, see 56 faces in the month of September to celebrate Mary Kay's 56th anniversary. And what would happen if you saw 56 faces? What would happen? I mean, think about it. What if you and your team saw 56 faces? Right? Break it down. Break it down to bite-sized chunks. How can you do it? How can you make a difference? Maybe it's selling 56 items. You know, you've heard all the ideas. Like, what are some of your ideas? What are you doing for the 56th anniversary?
Facebook Live party event.
Okay, awesome. I love it. In honor of the 56th anniversary, what are some things that you guys are running with? 56
I
items?
guess just getting her vision out there
Okay,
to
awesome.
people
Okay,
and sharing the opportunity more.
I love it. And I think really wrapping your brain around something like, okay, what can I do? Could I book 5 to 6 parties? Like, we're going with that 5-6 theme, right? So wrap your brain around it. What could I do? Could I do 5 or 6 parties? Could I share with 5 or 6 women? You know, what could I do to honor 56 years that Mary Kay has been a debt-free, family-owned company, a company that is now in almost 40 countries around the world? What could I do to honor that, you know, that our founder's vision? And so I just want you to run with that. Don't get caught up in the comparison trap. God made you. He designed you for good works. And last but not least, vision. Give your people a vision. Even your customers. Let them know what you're excited about. If you're excited about selling 56 items, guess what your customers are excited about? Helping Jennifer sell 56 items. If you're excited about seeing 56 faces, guess what your customers are excited about? Helping you see 56 faces. Like, your customers are going to be excited about the vision you put before them. If you're excited about going on Target for your Mary Kay card, guess what people are going to be excited about?
Me getting a Mary Kay card.
Yes, they're going to be excited about you going on Target for your first Mary Kay card. And that is vision. That is showing people and inviting them to be a part of something bigger. Let them hear your heart, your vision, and your purpose. Help them see their own vision. And then stretch your vision. Stretch it. When you say Nsd, like, stretch your vision. Like, that's probably like, whoo, okay, it's out here. And sometimes we have to bring it in. We have to say, okay, my first step is red jacket, then directorship, then build my first offspring. But we know the ultimate goal is I want to earn a car, be in a pink Cadillac, be an Nsd, whatever it is.
Mini Cooper.
Earn a Mini Coupe. Yes, I love that thing. And then, you know, just realizing that you guys have the ability to make such a big impact, And I want to grab that board, but I'm scared I'll break something. I don't know if I should. I'm like, should I touch the board? Will it?
They carry it around.
Okay.
It's, this is
I'm like,
it's
if I
on the
pick that
event.
thing up, is it gonna break?
No, you're good.
No,
I
I
wanna
think
break
they
it.
just did
I'll feel horrible. Audrey's in Hawaii and I break her board. Okay, we'll let you hold the board. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. All right, so if you look at this board, this is so cool. It's so exciting because you can see a national area in the making, and this excites me so much. Like I could jump up and down. When I see a national area being birthed, I just love it because I just lived it like 4 years ago, and it's amazing to watch. So when you see a first line of area directors, how many more spots are left? 5. And who was Jennifer is on Carla's team, right?
Yeah.
So Carla is whose offspring?
Audrey's.
Audrey.
So she'll be right here, right? So 6 first line. So then how many more? 4. And when you get down here, these directors are produced by all these directors. Now the first line directors are only produced out of Audrey's unit. So that's significant, you guys. So Audrey has the most on her shoulders, right? Because she is producing these first line directors from her personal unit. The second line, look, there I am. Oh my goodness, that makes me want to cry. That's so like special. It's the first time I saw it in person. But like all of these directors create these directors. How cool is that? So you guys, I mean, how awesome to be a part of something so significant. And when you look at here, these are her directors who are Equinox and Pink Cadillac directors. And you can see that she's got those growing and they're like leading the way. Kim is a Grand Achiever. Yeah, so she has 5 Premier and higher cars. You have to have 7. So she's almost done with that piece. And that's just amazing. And you guys, I love this. We walk by faith and not by sight. I just heard a really cool message about that. And I was like, I love it. It's the righteous will live by faith. And that do we really get up and walk by faith every day of our lives? Like, do we truly walk by faith, or do we walk by sight? And that it tells us the righteous will live by faith. We will live by faith. So you get to be a part of a God story. Because I just believe with all my heart the national area has to have the hand of God to finish it up, because it's a lot of like supernatural. Like we can do the natural work, but then the supernatural has to come in. So you are a part of this, and it is so exciting. So I told Audrey I just wanted to share from my heart how excited and how blessed I am that I get to be a part of that. And I get to be a part of a national area being birthed, which is really cool. I've never been a part of a national area being birthed. See what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of cool. So it's really, really exciting. I'm sure my time is up. I probably spoke too long. That's probably what the little beeper was for. But does anybody have any questions for me? Do y'all do tickets for the guests?
We don't do tickets, but
Q&A time?
yeah.
Q&A?
Yeah.
All right. Anyone have questions? Yes, about... You can ask me anything. Well, about Mary Kay. No, I'm kidding. You can ask me anything.
I guess this is probably a dumb question, but I guess when you talk about parties, that's just mainly doing facials. Is that right?
Okay, good. It's a great question. So a facial with Mary Kay is 1 to 2 faces. A party is 3 to 5 faces. I love that because parties aren't like you got to have 10 to 20 sitting around a table. You can, but Mary Kay really said no more than 5 because we can't really take care of our customers. And so customer care is so important in what we do. That's a great question. And if you average 50 a face, times it by or 100 a face, you times it by how many are sitting around that table, and you can kind of figure out your sales.
And what's the jar thing? Is that where you?
She's just talking about the fishbowl. Oh,
Facial? I can show you a picture.
I thought you were showing me one. I'm sorry. I looked at you. I was like, okay. Yeah, it's a way to get leads. Like if you set a facial box, it says enter here to win, or text me to win a prize, or you can. There's so many things you can say to win a free Mary Kay makeover.
This is just hers. They're not boxes. She did little
last year. That was Michelle Cunningham.
Oh, yeah,
Like I got her.
yeah.
Those
Good
are
job.
really good.
Yeah, that's really neat.
Yeah, because I guess that was one of my questions. I know when you see a lot of Mary Kay, it tends to be a lot of older women, not old. I'm not saying that at all, but older than my
We are
demographic.
old compared to you, right?
So, I guess even one of the questions I had from Michelle and Joyce was if you see a lot of younger or even ideas to kind of go into younger, because, of course they're like, it would be great, and that is something I know it'd be good to have friends and things like that, connect with
Yes.
friends through the Mary
Yes.
Kay. But we're all broke college students, so that's the hard part,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
branch into or have ideas of would this really, actual plausible ideas, if that
Yeah.
makes sense for that.
There are, and I told the girl today from Hollins, there are so many college girls knocking it out of the park. Like, they blow my mind. I mean, Audrey's daughter, Megan, is in a pink Cadillac. Kristen is a phenomenal seller. But you really can. I've got a ton of millennials in my area. And Megan Wilkes was our youngest Cadillac director. She's earned 2 Cadillacs now. And these girls are still young. I mean, she came in when she was 18. So you're looking at, like, she might be 23 now, and Jamie's 25 now. But they came in as college students. They came in, just like you. And my DIQ that I have right now, my personal DIQ is 21. So
And
she's
DIQ is?
director in qualification. She's working to become a director.
Okay.
So there's lots of young girls that are killing it. And it's funny because on the flip side, someone else will say, if I would have just started when I was her age. It's like, it's funny. And I'm like, whoa, you just get started. I mean, my number 1 sales director, Sherry Purvis, who's in Hawaii with Audrey, and is, amazing, has been $1 million sales director, Sherry Purvis. She came into Mary Kay, and she's been a nurse for 25 years. I mean, like, she started, like, later. It doesn't matter. I'm like, it doesn't matter. You just start. You just get started, and you go. And she's been with me for maybe 6 years. I mean, and I think she came in when she was, I don't want to mess up numbers, but she was in her maybe 45. I don't remember. I'm looking at y'all like you know. But she is knocking it out of the park. I mean, she's killing it, right? So it doesn't matter if you're, 18, if you're 60, it doesn't matter. You just get started and you let your journey be your journey. We've seen older women come in, and it's so amazing. Like, they're, going across with their little, like, walkers, picking up diamond rings or earning, like, a trip. And I'm like, that is so cool. Like, we have a director that comes to our studio for our director meetings, and she's in her 70s. Wow. And she said, I am just committed to earning that pink and I just love that. I'm like, she's past the point of where she could become a national, but she can earn all the trips and diamonds and cars with this company that she could, want to. So don't let age be a factor, is what I'm saying. Okay. Yeah.
I liked what you were saying about reaching out to some of your friends that weren't local. Like, that's,
Yes.
I haven't been hard pressed on building my business, obviously, like, I haven't really, but I'm also new to the area, and that intimidates me. The idea of, I don't have anybody to pick up and call, but you did that. So
Right.
what was
Right.
more, like, can you give us more details on your experience
Moving to
with,
a new area.
yeah, with reaching out to old friends, and like
Yeah.
you said that that's part of what's been so great for you is you've gotten to rekindle some past relationships, and that's really been blessing your business. So
Yeah, it gives you
that
a
was-
great excuse to reconnect. And for me, like, truly brought a lot of friendships that I had back into my life. Like, I got to run with one of my best friends from high school, and Mary Kay really reconnected us. We went to leadership and trips together. I mean, it's just a cool dynamic of this company. But I would just say, absolutely, like, moving to a new area, make a list, pretend you're getting married, make a list of everyone you know, and start working through that list. Reaching out and just saying, hey, I know it sounds crazy, but I just got started with Mary Kay, and I just wondered if you've ever tried our products. I'd be happy to know the sample. And you can send little videos, you can send, did you know we have an all-natural line. Oh my goodness, it's called Naturally. It's amazing. And it was certified by EcoCert, an outside source that came in. So it truly is natural. You know, a lot of companies, FDA doesn't, you know, you don't have to have regulations on that stuff. So they can say all natural and it doesn't have to be. And Mary Kay, they went out and got that outside source to come in and verify like the percentage of natural. So you get excited, people will get excited. You know, I think just look at you. You're beautiful. Just tell people what you're using. I'm using. Are you interested? Seriously, you look like you're great with color, and I mean, you've got your lipstick going, the new color.
It's berries and something, like, you know, the card, yeah.
She's like,
That's my thing right now, I'm trying all of them. Joyce
Yeah.
is supportive.
yeah, so take a picture and say, this is this color look. Would you be interested in giving it a try?
Yeah.
Hand them out. I mean, seriously, it is just asking. Two of the faces that one of my consultants facialed today, she just met, you know, like they were sitting beside each other, and she just said, oh my goodness, I'd love to facial you. And the girl's like, okay, you know. So that might not be your thing, but you can definitely hand out samples, give out business cards, get connections. Yeah. All right. We're good? Okay. So on a scale of a 1, well, actually I'm gonna do A, B, or C. It's easier. So A, absolutely sign me up. The starter kit's $100, only $100. I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere. I have a little flyer that shows it. Do y'all have the starter kit?